The Azerbaijani authorities have handed over to Russia all the evidence they have collected regarding the deaths of their citizens who, according to Baku, were killed as a result of torture by Russian security forces in Yekaterinburg. This was stated by the Prosecutor General of Azerbaijan, Kamran Aliyev, in an interview with the Report publication. According to Aliyev, the criminal case initiated by the Prosecutor General's Office of Azerbaijan confirmed the deaths of Azerbaijanis as a result of torture and brutal beatings. All investigation materials have already been sent to the Investigative Committee of the Russian Federation for further investigation. The Russian side informed me that the Investigative Committee is conducting a separate investigation into the facts of violence. We hope that the criminal case opened on this issue will yield results, the Prosecutor General noted. However, Aliyev stressed that Baku is not receiving information from Moscow about the progress of the investigation, not only in this case, but also in the tragedy with the AzAl plane, which crashed in Kazakhstan after an unsuccessful landing in Grozny. They have not yet provided us with specific results of the investigation, citing the conduct of examinations, the continuation of the investigation, and the performance of investigative actions. However, from the very beginning of the investigation, we had sufficient evidence. He added, "Let us recall that the tragedy in Yekaterinburg occurred at the end of June, when Russian security forces raided the places of residence and work of the Azerbaijani diaspora. As a result of the arrests, 2 men died, Ziadin and Gusein Safarov. Following these events, relations between Baku and Moscow became noticeably worse. In response to the deaths of their citizens, the Azerbaijani authorities detained the leadership of the Russian state media outlet Sputnik Azerbaijan, accusing them of working for the FSB, and also arrested 11 Russians convicted of cybercrime and drug trafficking. 7 of them, as it turned out, were IT specialists. In addition, against the backdrop of the conflict, Baku has once again raised the issue of the AzAl airliner crash. According to preliminary data, the plane may have been damaged by Russian air defense fire while attempting to land in Grozny. Despite this, Moscow has still not admitted its guilt or made an official apology, as Azerbaijan demands. The logistics situation at the front is becoming increasingly complicated due to the drone factor. Already in the fall, when the leaves fall from the trees, a solid, impassable kill zone may form on the front line. This is what a senior lieutenant of the Ukrainian Defense Forces with the call sign Alex writes in his Telegram blog. He says that the logistics situation in the Kupiansk direction was relatively calm just a few weeks ago compared to the Konstantinovka or Vovchansk area. But now everything has changed. According to the military man, logistics on armored vehicles has become almost impossible due to the activity of Russian drones. But Russians also have great problems due to Ukrainian drones. At the same time, the Russians are also trying to hunt for heavy Ukrainian drones of the Vampire type, which are also used to deliver everything necessary to the trenches on the front line. Everything is actively moving towards the fact that by the end of the year, there will be dead zones, 10 to 15 kilometers deep on both sides. Especially when the greenery subsides, it will be very difficult and painful. Therefore, get ready now, the Ukrainian officer writes. As media wrote back in early May, Robert Magyar Brovdi, who at that time was not yet the commander of the Unmanned Systems Forces, warned that the situation in the war was moving towards the establishment of a continuous kill zone. He predicted that already this summer, drones would make a 15 to 20 kilometer kill zone in both directions from zero impassable. At the end of May, military observer Yevgeny Diki voiced a similar idea, but he was even more radical in his assessments. In his opinion, the kill zone could stretch 100 kilometers in width. Kamikaze drones, surveillance drones, bomber drones, drones that kill other drones. These machines swarm the skies in vast numbers. They're cheap, they're deadly, and they're among the main reasons Ukraine believes it can hold out against advancing Russian forces this year and even beyond. According to a dozen Ukrainian commanders, officials, and arms manufacturers involved in Kyiv's defense. Ukrainian soldiers describe the drone-infested corridor covering about 10 kilometers either side of the line of contact as the kill zone, because remotely piloted unmanned aerial vehicles deployed by both sides can swiftly spot and neutralize targets. The war's evolution into the most drone-intensive conflict ever seen has eaten away at Russia's ability to exploit its traditional advantages in troop numbers, artillery and tanks, according to two Ukrainian battlefield commanders interviewed. Any large vehicle operating near the front is now an obvious target, meaning Russian forces can no longer make the kind of rapid advances they did in 2022 with columns of armored vehicles. According to the commanders as well as the founder of Ochi, a system which centralizes video feeds from over 15,000 Ukrainian military drone crews on the front lines. Despite the changes in warfare, Russian forces retain the ascendancy and are making slow but steady advances in the east and north of Ukraine. Russia has also caught up in UAV technology after falling behind early in the war, according to military analysts, and like its enemy, is churning out drones domestically at a rate of 1 million a year.